Nikia, and you are watching What Happened on the Soaps, Young and the Restless and Bold and the Beautiful edition. Yes, I am putting them both together today because both of them, although good, did not have much to talk about. But they were still solid, but it was just, a repeat, just a recap pretty much of the week. Um, okay. Today is Friday, Good Friday, April the 5th, 15th, 2022. So let's get started with the Young and the Restless. Starting off with Billy. So Billy is trying to do his second podcast, but he's realizing that he doesn't have a lot to speak about because everything he wants to speak about, he can't say because people will figure out who he's talking about. So he tries to talk about Ashlyn, and he can't do that. He tries to talk about Jack's situation, and he can't do that because he realized everyone would know what I'm talking about. And as the COO of Chancellor, I can't do this. And so he gives Nick a call and he tells Nick that maybe he should talk to Victoria again and try to get through to her. And Nick says, no, don't do that. He was like, there's been a deal made, and as soon as he finds out everything, he will update Billy. That's pretty much it. And so Billy is like, okay. So he keeps trying and he keeps trying and he can't. Now, meanwhile, Lily comes home. Now, Lily has had a run-in with Sally. So she saw Sally while she was picking up something to eat. And she says, oh my gosh, it was so unpleasant. But Sally she tries to talk to Lily. Lily is a little cold. She says, because of what Sally did to Billy. And Sally says, one day I hope us to be friends because we will be in the same circle. She says, I understand, me being the COO of Newman Media, we have to run into each other. So one day we'll be friends. And Lily said, well, you're persistent, if nothing else. But I don't know. She was a little cold to Sally. On this soap, like on other soaps, it's like when some people do things, they're forgiven. When other people do things, they're not. And maybe that's why I like Sally and Adam so much, because it's like they've done things, not great, but you're able to forgive. You're not able to forgive them, but you can forgive other people for bad stuff that they've done, like an Ashley and Chelsea and everything. So I don't know. But anyway, so Lily goes home and she tells him she ran into Sally, and he was like, oh yeah, you do need some wine or whatever. But they don't want that to ruin their night. So Lily just tells him, he talks to Lily about the podcast, and he says he wants to go in under a different identity. I think how do you pronounce the word pseudonym? He wants to use one because he can't say what he wants to say. I feel like this is a bad idea. I feel like Billy doesn't really have a storyline, so maybe this is going to bring him a storyline. I like Billy and everything. I liked him since he was on General Hospital as Patrick, but he doesn't really have a storyline, and he's always just in other people's storyline, kind of like Lily. So maybe this will give them some kind of storyline on this show. Moving on from them, because that's it. Billy just goes back in there and he finally finds a voice that he wants to use. He said, oh, that doesn't sound like me. I was like, I thought it did, but okay. Maybe I'm just hearing things. So he's airing out everything he wants to say under this different personality. So then let's go to Mariah and Tessa. They go shopping for their wedding and everything. I guess they just go shopping. I don't know. I thought it was for the wedding, but they just go shopping. They try on different outfits for each other that they bought each other, and then they decide that the adoption can wait. I like these two, but they weren't the main story. Like, I feel like they throw Mariah and Tessa in here like to break things up or just to give them a storyline, because Young and the Restless does for the most part tries to play have their actors active. I feel like these two are ones that they try to have more active on the show. I wish they would bring in other people, but okay, I'll go with these two because I do like them. So anyways, that was it with them today. Sorry if y'all wanted more. It wasn't that big. So then we go to Vic. Okay, so Ashlyn and is talking to Adam. So Adam comes in and he tells him what, I have terms. And Adam says, listen, sir, you're in no position to have any type of terms about this whole situation. But what I do have conditions. And so he says, what are your conditions? So they sit down, and Adam says, you give up all rights to the company. And Ashley said, okay, I could see that. And he says, and you get an annulment from Victoria. He said, annulment? He said, yes, that you were married on false pretense. And Ashley kind of balks at that. I don't know if Ashley has feelings for Victoria or not. It's seeming like they're trying to tell us that he does. So I'm gonna go with what they're trying to say and say that he does have feelings for her. But um mm so he tells Adam that he doesn't really want, like, he has conditions, and one of his is that y'all give me the money and then I'll sign the paperwork. And Adam says, no, like, you're in no position to be making demands. So we're gonna have you sign this paperwork first, and then we'll put the money in. Because he was like, you might not trust us, and I get it. But he said, but you're the one who can't be trusted, clearly. And so that's how it ends with these two. And then Adam goes back to the office and he talks to Sally. And she said, how did it go? He said everything was going good, and he thinks Ashlyn wanted to take the deal. He said the only hiccup he really saw was that when he said an annulment, he said his eyes looked like he didn't want that. And Sally says, well, maybe he really does love Victoria. And Adam was like, he might. I mean, I don't know. He said, but really, I'm just trying to get him out the company. So then we see in Victoria's office, she's thinking about Ashlyn and their last conversation and how he told her that let's start over. Let's walk away from it all and start over. And so then they see that Nick comes in, and Nick talks to her, and she says, I'm really tired of y'all not trusting me. Girl, nobody trusts you at this moment. You brought Ashlyn in. You're not to be trusted with decision making. And she said, I'm really tired of y'all not trusting me and everything. And then Nick says, at the end of the day, you're my sister, and I don't care about the money. I care about you and making sure that you're okay. And she says, Ashley wants to go away with her or whatever. And she says, and Nick says, he's trying to divide you from the family. Can't you see that? And she was like, yes, I see that. And I just want y'all to trust me. She said, yes, I'll still love Ashley, but she's not forgotten everything that he's done to her. And so then Ashley comes in, and he's like, oh, the Newman brothers are working in overtime to get to Victoria or whatever. And now, Nick did say something that I agree with. He said, he told Victoria before Ashlyn came in, I am tired of handling Ashlyn with kid gloves. Your plan was kid gloves. Adam's plan is kid gloves. Dad's plan is kid gloves. Like, we need to handle this man or whatever. And I'm like, I'm saying the same thing, but y'all not hearing it or whatever. Y'all keep like letting Ashlyn make deals and everything, instead of taking care of him and removing him from the company. So anyway, she says, no, don't you do that. I'll handle it. My plan was working. And Adam said, Nick tells Victoria, I don't care whose plan works. If Adam's plan is working, let's get him out of the company. As long as he's away from the company and away from you, I don't care. And so then that's when, again, Ashley comes in, and he was like, what have they been saying against me now? And Victoria tells him, Nick, I need to speak to Ashlyn alone. And he said, well, please believe that I'm going to handle this. If you don't take the offer or whatever, I'm going to handle it. And so then Ashley says, because he says, you're trying to divide. Nick tells Ashley, you're trying to divide our sister, tear her apart from her family. If you had any decency, you would stop that and you would leave or whatever. So anyways, Nick ends up leaving, and Victoria's with Ashlyn, and she says, what did Adam say? And he tells her that they want him to get an annulment, and they want to give him the money to, leave the company and everything. And he says, yeah, okay, I can, he said, I can do that, but only if you agree that you're going to come with me and we're going to run off and start our future together. And Victoria is just like, of course, I believe you. Victoria's like, of course, we're going to be together or whatever. So he calls Adam up and he says, let's negotiate. Let's get the paperwork together. And so Adam is happy because he's like, yeah, I did that. I'm happy for Adam and Sally. Some of y'all in the comments on Instagram were saying that Sally looks manly. And I'm like, I don't don't see it. I mean, we're all entitled to our own opinions. I don't see it. I think she dressed inappropriately for work, but she has the body for it, and if they let her do it. But I don't see her looking manly. She's really pretty to me. Her features are really striking. But so that, him and Sally are like, okay, where this is happening. And Victoria hugs Ashlyn, but she's telling him this, but I think she's just playing him. She doesn't want to be with him. And that was the Young and the Restless today, guys. So let's move right along to the Bold and the Beautiful. So on the Bold and the Beautiful today, we see okay. So Liam, Hope, Paris, and Zende are still outside, and they're just happy that Steffi has woken, that she's awake. They're just happy that she's awake now. And so Zende calls the office, and everybody, he's like, they're all congratulated. And Paris like, yeah, Carter gonna come over. Zende just don't be knowing. If they would tell the truth on this soap, some of that they wouldn't even have storylines. But anyway, so they're all just happy that Steffi is awake, and Liam is just like, I couldn't imagine, that she didn't wake up. He said, but when you think about it, it's like, yeah, it's Steffi, she's gonna wake up. Listen, they're gonna put Liam and Steffi back together. Watch in a few months, they're gonna be back together. Because she's gonna lead on him heavily because of everything that's going on, and they're gonna be right on back together. But I don't know, they might not. Anyways, but they're disappointed and sad that, Finn has passed away and everything. So then we go inside the hospital, right? Sheila, Thomas, Ridge, and Taylor, and Steffi. And Steffi is trying to talk, and she kept saying, there. There. And Ridge is like, what are you trying to say? And Sheila said, I don't think we need to strain her. And Ridge is like, hush your mouth. And I'm like, why don't y'all just tell her to leave? I don't understand. Excuse me, sinus. Why don't y'all just tell her to leave? But they don't. So she just keeps uttering other, and they're like, what are you trying to say? And Thomas says she's trying to tell us something. And she was trying to tell them, I need some water. Stephanie was telling them, give me some water. Y'all want me to do all this talking? I'm thirsty. I haven't drank in, I don't know how long it's been. Has it been 2 days? I guess it's been 2 days. It might have been longer. But she's like, I haven't drank in hours. Give me some water. So they give her some water and everything, and they're just happy she's awake, and she's doing and she's able to speak to them. So then Bridget comes in, and she pretty much tells them the same thing, that Steffi is right on course. It might take her a while. She might not remember, and it might take her a while and everything, but for where she is supposed to be, Steffi is on course. And so she looks to her for her to have a recovery, complete recovery and everything, but she's still, they still touch and go. And then Sheila asks, will she about her memory and everything, and she says she doesn't remember everything. She can't remember right now, and sometimes she might get her memory back and she might not. Did y'all see that slight smile Sheila gave? Yes, girl, I know you are happy that she might get her memory back and she might not. It could happen in bits and pieces. It could never happen, or it could happen like in large pieces or whatever. So Thomas goes outside, and Paris, Liam, and Hope talk, and they just tell Thomas everyone was so happy that Steffi is doing well and everything. And he was like, thank the office. Steffi will be so happy to hear about that. And so then we see that Thomas and Ridge, Taylor and Ridge come outside, and Hope and Liam go in, and they just encourage Steffi and tell her, we're so happy you're doing well, because she's asleep at this point, but they're like, we're so happy you're doing well. We're going to help you as much as we can. That's pretty much what that was. And then so outside, Thomas has left. Paris and Carter have left. And Thomas, and Hope and Liam are getting to the elevator. We see them get in while the scene with Ridge, Taylor, and Sheila goes on. So Taylor is in Ridge's arms saying, I'm so happy everything worked out. Oh, also, Hope called Brooke, and Brooke says, I'm happy. I want to come, but not right now because I'm going to give the family some time. And so then we see Ridge and Taylor's in his arms. She's saying, oh, I'm so happy Steffi's okay. And he was like, I'm glad she pulled it through. And so then he turns around to Sheila, because Sheila had said earlier, should still touch and go, but Taylor, I'm so happy for you. And Ridge tells Sheila, I know you lost your son and you need to grieve how you need to grieve, but right now this is family and we need to be here for her right now. Mommy's almost done. I'm almost done. Okay. So he says we need to be here for her right now. And you don't need to be here for Steffi wouldn't want you here. And Taylor says yes, she would. And then Taylor proceeds to tell Thomas what happened on the building, how Sheila saved her life because Sheila was about to jump. And Thomas said you were gonna jump, and she said I'm not proud of that, but yes. And so that's it. That's she just tells him what's going on. I think Ridge is gonna be mad at Sheila, not happy, but that's how it all ends. And I'll see you guys next time on another edition of What Happened on the Soaps. Sorry.